The world heavyweight champion should be pretty like me. I'm as pretty as you, and you're not a fighter.
Let's get your questions from the floor, boys, so we can get going here.
Considering your fluency in English, what is your academic background? How far did you go in school?
I went to the 12th grade. I graduated from high school.
In Louisville?
Louisville, Kentucky. That's right. That state has the fastest women and the prettiest horses. Boy, I can't find no good questions. Oh, well.
How many fights did you have as an amateur, and how many losses?
180 amateur bouts. Lost 4, my first 4.
Were you as volatile when you were an amateur as you are now as a professional?
No, I wasn't. At that time, I didn't realize how great I was.
Cassius, other than Cassius Clay, what's the next best thing that ever happened to Louisville, Kentucky?
Kentucky Derby. I'm the next thing beside Kentucky. We got a great football player, Paul Harning.
Cassius, back when you were a kid in high school, did you ever have any other sport that you might have had the opportunity to excel in, football or baseball, for example?
I tried football, I tried baseball, but too much competition was in them. I was on a championship football team once. We would go out to dinner, and the lady said, "Well, let the team in." Didn't nobody recognize me. I was just one of the boys. But I said, "I'll be the champion of the world. Ain't but one champ."
And 9 baseball players.
One champ? How many baseball players?
9 baseball players.
But ain't but one champ.
That's all.
Ain't but one world heavyweight champ. He's the champion of all champions. So I got off of those teams.
Back when you were a kid as an amateur, Cassius, you had to have somebody that you looked at and thought was the greatest then, just like you would like the kids look at.
Sugar Ray.
Sugar Ray?
Here's my idol. Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, I see
Sugar Ray.
All right, now, evaluating Sugar Ray today, are you sorry to see him still fighting as he is? As old as he is?
Well, I'm not sorry until he start getting hurt. He just knocked out some chump. As far as finance is concerned, it's not my business. I don't know nothing about him and what he did with his money. But I don't know nothing about that. But he's still over there knocking out them young boys. He was with Ray for how many years?
10 years.
10 years. He'll tell you all about Ray.
Pound for pound, the greatest fighter that ever lived, up to...
Now Floyd is still looking for that opening. There. A terrific left hook, drops Moore. What a shot. Archie doesn't know where he is.
Lived up to the day of Cassius Clay, I'll call it.
Right. But when he was fighting, was he the best?
He was the world's greatest, pound for pound. Nobody in the world could touch Sugar Ray. He was born a fighter.
Was he as great as me?
I don't know who's writing your script.
He said no. Yeah, we had a hard drive in here. We had to leave New York last night at 10 o'clock. We drove all through the night, didn't get no sleep. Came here and laid down for a few hours. We haven't been to bed for 2 days. Now we gotta drive all the way to back to New York and won't get there till 8 tomorrow morning, I don't guess. Then I gotta go to Jack Pa's show at 10 and tape that thing for almost an hour. Then I gotta jump back on the bus and drive 800 more miles all the way back to Louisville, Kentucky.
You think he's a joke because he talks a lot. But I'm gonna give you a little secret. He have never been to camp. And that's like a soldier going on an island to take it over just from civilian clothes. You gotta go to camp to be a soldier. You gotta go to camp to be a fighter. He have never been to camp in his life.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're listening to Juniper 52385. My name is Milton Metz, and our guest tonight is Cassius Clay. Hello.
How long do you run in the days, in the mornings?
Sometimes I run as much as 10 miles when I feel like it, but on average, training for fight, I run 3 miles every morning.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome.
This is Juniper 52385. What's it like to be a world-famous boxer? Tonight meet Louisville's Cassius Clay, our guest here. We'll be here for more than an hour until 10 o'clock tonight. Hello?
Mr. Matt?
Yes?
My name is Larry King.
Yes, Larry.
I would like to ask Cassius a question.
All right, he's listening to you.
Do you think that you are as good a boxer as Joe Louis was at your age?
Well, I don't only think, but I know that I'm not as good, but better. I'm faster than Joe Louis. I'm taller and heavier than he was at my age. I'm more classier, I'm faster, and I'm more colorful, and I talk more.
Thank you. Anything else?
Do you think that you are as great now as Joe Louis was?
No, I don't. As a matter of fact, I know I'm not as great as Joe Louis was at this stage of my career.
All right, thank you. This is WHAS in Louisville, Kentucky, 840 on your dial. Clear Channel Radio, 50,000 watts. Hello?
This is John Wall.
Yes, Mr. Wall.
I wanted to ask Cassius that he says he's great, and a lot of people say he's great, but every great man has to have some faults, and I wondered if he knew what his faults were.
Yes, I have faults. One of my faults is eating too much. As a matter of fact, me and Matt here just got through eating, and I ate 2 pieces of pie.
Golden gloves. Heavyweights Jimmy Jones and Cassius Clay square away. Clay puts on a display of dazzling footwork. In this Tournament of Champions, Louisville's Clay, 18 years old, small as heavyweights go, outfoxes Jones of Gary and piles up the winning points.
Square Garden, the 33rd Intercity Golden Gloves, with top amateurs of New York and Chicago mixing it up. Cassius Clay of Chicago challenges Gary Joyce, the Eastern heavyweight champ, and Joyce is in trouble from the first round on. It's a TKO decision for Cassius Clay, and more points for the Windy City team, which wins 12 bouts out of the card of 16, sponsored by the News Welfare Association for Tournament Honors.
In the 178-pound class, another Louisville boy, Cassius Clay, in the dark trunks, is pitted against the All-Army champion, Alan Hudson. Hudson is the Pan American title holder, while Clay is the reigning Eastern Regional champion. As this next to the last fight of the evening gets underway, the fans, who have yet to see any of the bouts stopped by a KO, are clamoring for some explosive action. It looks as if they'll get their wish. 2 rights by Hudson set up Clay for a hammering left that belts him to the canvas. Cassius is up almost immediately, and after a check by the ref, he's back in action. Now it's time to turn the tables. After a brief flurry by Hudson, it's Clay's chance to go to work. He wades into Hudson and sends him reeling into the corner. Hudson is really groggy and just about out on his feet. Clay's arm is raised in victory, but Hudson's down again this time just because his legs won't hold him up. That doesn't bother Allen. He'd still like the fight to go on.
Hello?
Yes, Cassius speaking.
This is Stephen Ball. I'd like to know, Cassius, what food you eat while you're on the road, while you're training.
Well, when I'm training, I love scrambled eggs, and I eat whole wheat toast with them, and grits.
What meats do you eat, Cassius?
I eat hamburger patties I love hamburger patties with my breakfast, and for lunch I eat green salads and light soups, and for dinner I usually eat 1 or 2 T-bone steaks with baked potato and orange juice and whole wheat toast because it's not fattening, and lamb and chicken and anything I can get my hands on that's not detrimental to a fighter.
Good night. Hello?
Hello. I would like to ask Cassius if anyone had ever asked him to be in a fixed fight.
Have anyone ever accused me of having a fixed fight?
Has anyone ever asked you if you would take part in a fixed fight? I don't know if that's a fair question, but if you want to answer it, go ahead.
No, I don't know. You see these crooked boxing pictures at the theaters and on television, but I haven't ran into none of that stuff.
The two fighters touch gloves as the fight is ready to begin. In the pole, Pietrkowski's southpaw style has proven very difficult for his other opponents thus far. No one has been capable of penetrating Ziggy's defense without getting hit with hard right jabs and a stinging left cross. Clay, in white, has proven to be the class of these 1960 Rome Olympics. Cassius has coupled blinding hand speed with brilliant footwork. Clay has Pietrkowski missing badly, a tribute to his speed. Just prior to entering these Olympic Games, Cassius Clay went through his finest year as an amateur, winning the AAU light heavyweight title and Golden Gloves heavyweight crown. Just 5 weeks ago, Clay established himself as the premier light heavyweight in the United States by knocking out Alan Hudson in the pre-Olympic trials. Pietrkowski at 25 is giving away 7 years to the younger Clay. But with over 200 amateur fights behind him, Pietrkowski has a big edge on experience. Just 2 days. Clay scoring with that right-hand lead. Cassius putting on the pressure. Cassius scoring well with his lightning left jab, and every once in a while, confusing Pietrkowski with a right lead. Clay, at 18, has been boxing for 6 years. In over 130 amateur fights, he has lost only once. Even now, in his hometown of Louisville, Kentucky, he is a well-known celebrity. In the corner. Clay demonstrating those rapier-like punches. An avalanche of leather sends Pietrkowski into the ropes. He's covering up. The referee warns Pietrkowski for crouching. Clay is way ahead on points, and he knows it. He's boxing with all the confidence in the world, realizing he is only moments away from the gold medal. And there's his famous shuffle. Clay all over Pietrkowski here at the end of round 3. He congratulates him. And then Ziggy's cornermen also acknowledge Clay's masterful boxing exhibition. Later in the award ceremony, the fighters take their places on the victory stand. Cassius Clay has presented the coveted gold medal for his tremendous victory in the light heavyweight division of the Olympic Boxing Championships. A magnificent conclusion to the 1960 Rome Olympics.
Thank you.
All right. Hello.
Hey, Cassius, my name is Danny Hutton. I'd like to know if you had very much trouble taking the Olympics.
Well, I had a lot of trouble taking the Olympics. Fighting is never easy. At first, I had to win the National Golden Glove Championship. Then I had to beat the United States Army champion. I had to beat the United States National College champion. I had to beat the United States Air Force champion. That wasn't all. That made me the United States light heavyweight champion. Then I had to go to Rome, Italy, and I had to, I had 4 rough fights with a Belgian, Australian, a Polish boy, and a Russian. and there were 64 boys in my division, and we eliminated each other. So that made me the world's champion, and it was not an easy time.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Light for a heavyweight, all Louisville boxing fans turned out to see their young Olympic gold medal winner. He did not disappoint anyone. Supremely confident, young Clay boxed smartly, easily winning his professional debut with a flashy, unanimous decision.
After the fight, the search began for a trainer. Archie Moore was chosen over Angelo Dundee, but Cassius soon soured on Moore's over-disciplined training habits, and he was released. At 18, Cassius Clay pondered his future.
I think that I am becoming overconfident, but I will never be so overconfident until it would interfere with my training program. I'm gunning for Floyd Patterson and Sonny Liston. And if they get in my way, I will annihilate them also.
I'm only bold and cocky before and after fight.
Let me see you close your mouth and just keep it closed.
Well, you know that's impossible.
No, keep it closed.
You know that's impossible. I'm the greatest. And I'm knocking out all bums. And if you get too small, I'll knock you out.
Now close your mouth, but just let me see if you can leave it closed for 10 seconds.
Well, that's impossible. You know that's impossible.
Well, yes, I would love to break Floyd Patterson's record. As you know, today is the jet age. Everybody's trying to break records. Man says that he'll be on the moon by 1970. One man said that they're going to make cars that'll run by sunlight. Well, those are pretty game predictions. Well, I predicted I'll be the heavyweight champion by the time I'm 21.
Good night. Hello.
This is Barrett Burnsteel.
Yes, Mr. Burnsteel.
I would ask Cassius a question, please.
Right here.
Do you ever lose your temper in the ring?
Well, I never lose my temper. I never lose my temper because when you lose your temper, you get wild. You have the tendency to get wild, and when you get wild, you don't know what you're doing half time. But great fighters don't lose the temper. Fighters such as say when guys like Jack Dempsey, Gene Tooney, Joe Louis, Sugar Ray, a lot of other great fighters, they do not lose the temper. When a fella have the right amount of speed and natural ability and class and science, well, you never can tell when he's hot. It looks like as far as looks are concerned, you may say that I always lose my temper because I'm always aggressive and I always call around.
Cassius, do you ever lose your temper in life outside of the ring yourself?
No, I don't. I have no police records whatsoever. No kind of record.
Well, I don't mean that. I mean, like in a family squabble or a friend.
Well, yes, I may lose my temper with my brother over the food table. He may won't take all ice cream sometime, and we might have to go to war over that sometimes. That's about the only time I lose my temper, when you mess with my money and my food.
He's not been landing with the right hand, Clay hasn't, but he has been pumping that left in hard. There goes a good right. Note the rapidity and the dexterity of Clay's left hand. Sometimes starts it out as a jab and turns it into a hook. Somebody behind us is yelling, Alonzo's an old man. He'll be 27 years old in September. Or rather, November. Those long right hands of Clay are landing, but without too much steam. He's got no follow-through on them. Clay is undefeated, but he's never fought anyone of the caliber of Johnson. Johnson himself has never been knocked out. At the moment, Clay is just too fast for Johnson. There's a mandatory 8 count. He bounced right up. He claims it's not a knockdown. And the referee says no knockdown. The referee first started to count, and then decided it was no knockdown. He He leans pretty well back from punches, Cassius Clay does. However, leaning is considered dangerous, too. You get tagged in that position, you might go out. One minute to go in round 5. Clay is turning it on now, as you see. There have been no official knockdowns in the fight. Johnson went down in the 4th round, but it was ruled no knockdown. Johnson has not been able to land a big one to the head, however. Clay has landed many up there. Let's see if they call that a knockdown. Nope. That's the second non-knockdown. 10 seconds to go in round 7. Let's see what they call that. That's the 3rd time Johnson's been down, but there have been no official knockdowns. If Banks does anything, it's figured to be early. He's a power puncher early in a fight. Clay is the most lightweight since Jack Sharkey. He's ranked 9th by Ring Magazine. Banks is unranked. Banks' power mostly is in his right hand. Banks, by the way, making his first appearance on national TV. Clay has been on television twice. Clay has dazzling speed of hands and feet when he opens up. Banks is reputed to have quick hands, like Floyd Patterson. I say reputed to. We were seeing him for the first time ourselves. The referee. There goes Clay on the floor. He's got to take the mandatory 8 count. There's the mandatory 8 count. 1 minute to go in round 1. Half a minute to go in the round. Ten seconds to go in round 1. And the Cassius Clay was ever down. So he gets in there with great fighters like Marciano and Lewis, who also were down occasionally, but were great nevertheless. Banks came here to fight, so did Clay now, with either hand of Banks. Fighter as yet. Let's see if they count that a knockdown. No. Everybody's been looking for Banks' right hand. It's the left hand that he's causing the trouble with. There goes Banks down. That's a knockdown, all right. A flash knockdown, just like the one that floored Clay in round 1. Mandatory 8 count. Banks has suddenly become a mark for head punching. Louisville businessmen who managed Cassius Clay. One minute to go in round 3. Banks was roughed by that left hook. Getting rocked a little more. Banks is in real trouble. But he can punch back yet. 30 seconds left in the round. Goldstein is stopping the fight. That's all. Sonny Banks wants to continue. Only a few seconds had elapsed here in the 4th round. A knockout for Cassius Clay, coming from behind after being floored in the 1st round. Here's Johnny Addy.
Yes, that was my first time knockdown as a professional, and I had to get up to take care of things after that because it was rather embarrassing me on the floor. And as you know, I think that I'm the greatest, and I'm not supposed to be on the floor, so I had to get up and put him on out.
I'm Don Dunphy, your ringside commentator. Unbeaten heavyweights take over this evening as Cassius Clay of Louisville meets Billy Daniels of New York City in the 10-round feature bout at the St. Nicholas Arena. The ebullient Kentuckian has given the predictions on his bouts and up to now has made them good. To quote a contemporary on the boxing beat, the 25-year-old Billy Daniels is even more undefeated than Clay, having won 16 in a row while wearing 8-ounce gloves. Mark Kahn, the referee, a good one. Big heavyweights. There have been no knockdowns. It's questionable whether the bout can continue, though, because of the condition of Daniels' left eye. He has cuts around it, over it and around it. Mark Kahn is stopping it. Julie Isaacson is protesting furiously. Big Julie is the manager of Billy Daniels and Cassius Clay.
Bother you when your home folks talk about your big man?
No, it don't. It would bother me if I talked and didn't back it up. A lot of people call me conceited, but conceited means a person who think they have it when they don't. I know I have it. That's why I'm so bold and outright with what I say. I know I have the speed and ability. I know there's not a heavyweight fight in the world today that can hit me. If you look at me, you'll think I'm Chubby Check or something. I do not have a mark on my face.
Do you think your brother will go as far in the fight ring as you?
Well, my brother would go as far as I tell him to go. He listens to me. He trains with me, and whenever he can hit me over 3 times around, then he's ready to turn pro. But he takes advice from me because I've been in this business. I've fought the best. I've been in it long enough to know when he's ready. So he'll go when I say so.
Well, when you're out on training or fighting and so forth, do you date very much?
Oh, it's a strange thing. I do not have any girlfriends. The closer I get to the championship, the less interest I have in girls. But that would happen when the time comes. But my girlfriend right now is boxing, and my dates are coming to these radio interviews, TV interviews, and going to fights. Those are my biggest dates.
The challenger takes any available target. A grazing right and a solid left to the cheekbone. Drop the champion. Around Sonny-Liston, the 21st heavyweight champion of the world, jubilation. For Floyd Patterson, the former champion, consolation.
Hello.
This is Jimmy Silk, and I guess Cassius Clay, how long do you think he'll go with Sonny-Liston?
Well, I told you, Sonny Liston, if you've been reading the paper or if you've been listening to the program, I said Sonny Liston, that fight I predict would go 8 rounds with me standing over Sonny Liston. And if he keeps popping off like he's doing, I'm going to have to cut that prediction to 4. As you recall, when I fought Archie Moore, I said, Archie Moore, you must fall in 8. I was talking to him just like I'm talking to you. I said, Archie, you must fall in 8. He kept popping off about a punch called the lip buttoner, so I had to cut it from 8 to 4. So Sonny Liston will go 8 rounds with me.
Yeah, that's all.
Sharp, stinging punches rock Moore. Moore's in trouble. Clay pouring it on here in round 3. Moore pressing forward, trying to get in that one big punch to take Clay out of there. Ripping punches by Clay, and Moore goes down. Cassius raises his hands over his head. Courageously, Archie gets to his feet. Moore is sent to the canvas again by a barrage of punches. For the second time, Archie gets to his feet to face the inevitable. Ripping punches by Cassius Clay, and it's all over. Clay wins by a 4th round knockout, as predicted. It looks like this exciting 20-year-old is on his way to the heavyweight championship.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Metz.
Yes.
First of all, I would like to wish Cassius the best of everything.
Thank you very much.
I feel like you go to the top, and I've been in your corner ever since you started. I saw you when you made your first start out here to Freedom Hall.
Thank you.
And I believe you go to the top with that kind of confidence. I don't see how you can miss.
Thank you. You're awful smart.
Question I'd like to ask, I noticed when you fought Archie Moore,
yes,
you didn't go to the body. Was there any special reason for that?
No, because Archie Moore is an awful great fighter at the age of 50-some-odd years old. He was awful tricky. He made me miss more punches than I have ever missed. And strange to say, I was awful tired from punching and moving and staying out of the way. Archie was awful sharp. He was in condition. He was awful fast. His legs wasn't too strong, but he had the punch and the zip. And any other fighter in the ranking, I believe that Archie would have got 2. But I didn't go to the body because Archie's tricky and he's hard to hit. And that is right. I didn't go to the body, but I believe that if you can bang a man enough on his head, or if you can box him enough, then that will control his mind. Your mind control all parts of your body, and if you can work the right combinations on the upper part of the body, well, you don't have to worry about the lower part. But a tall fella, I would punch at his body, but Archie was too short.
Yeah, he did have a good defense there, didn't he?
He had a great defense, but I was just a little better. I broke through it.
In other words, kill the head and the body will die.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Hello.
Hello? Milton?
Yes.
I want to ask Cassius a question.
Yes.
That, for instance, Cassius, I know that you think a great deal of Joe Martin, who is perhaps brought you further than anybody. And, for instance, just the past couple of weeks, I noticed he has said that you don't have a punch.
Well, as I said earlier in the program, every man his own opinion, and if a person don't have a punch, why is it that I have 16 fights and 13 didn't go the distance, plus the great Archie Moore? What would you say? What do I have to do to have a punch?
Well, truly, I don't know.
Well, if I don't have a punch, I never will have a punch. I must have a punch to be able to predict the round in which my opponent will fall.
Well, I don't think it's very impressive, but for instance, what about Joe Martin? I mean, he knows more about you than anybody.
Well,
do you have any respect for his opinion and so forth?
Well, I cannot have respect for an opinion that says that's down in me, and I'm the most confident fighter in the world today. I believe that I'm the greatest, and just because another person, whoever he is, whether it be Joe Martin or whether it be my father, that says I can't do this, I don't have this, well, they can say what they want, but nothing will discourage me, and a lot of things are said just for color.
Well, I mean, what did you say? You said they just said it for color?
Well, yes, he also said, not only a punch, he also said that there's an upcoming fighter by the name of Tommy Hale, soon be 16, weighs 150 pounds, and will stop me, will take my crown. And he also, I'm the only fighter who writes poetry and the one who started it. Now people write me letters, writing poems about me, and this was a poem about Tommy Hale and me. This write-up, this was also in that write-up about I don't have a punch.
Yes,
so all of this is, it has a lot to do to build it up.
For instance, I too, Cassius, to catch you away from the ring and seeing the other side of you, would you recite one of your more serious poems to us? I mean, something that has nothing to do with fighting. I think that would...
Well, I do not have any other poems. All of my poems on fighting. I'm in the fight game. I'm out to be the heavyweight champion of the world, and I may have no interest in nothing else. And as far as me being cocky and lippy and loquacious and bold and brash, I'm going to do everything I can to liven up the fight game. And if I put myself on a limb like this, I have some responsibilities. What would I look like coming home knocked out? And then what am I going to say then?
I'm not talking about your being knocked out. You brought that up. But
well, as far as writing poetry,
I think you'll go far. You've already gone far, and
thank you.
I'm very happy for you.
Thank you.
But then,
well, you talk with a little doubt.
I know. I'm not talking with doubt. I am quoting a man who knows you better than anybody.
Well, how is it that he knows me better than anybody?
Well, because he brought you up. He's responsible for where you are now.
I'm responsible myself. I'm training. I'm fighting. I'm the one who train and fight and do. My father's responsible for me. My mother. They done more for me than anybody in the world.
Yes, but then Joe Martin.
And Joe Martin have been a lot of help to me. Joe Martin is one of my best buddies. Joe Martin gave me a lot of confidence. Yeah. But as you know, I have it's my contract. I have the best contract in history. I have 10 wealthy businessmen behind me. And as far as who I'm with and who I'm didn't go with is all got a lot to do with my career, my future, and the money involved.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Good night. Please give your names when you call in. Hello?
This is Jeff Wilcoxon.
Yes, Jeff.
I have a poem for Cassius Clay.
Let's hear it. Don't let it be too long.
Okay.
You sound like me now.
Cassius Clay. Others have heard of Sugar Ray. Soon they will hear no more. Cassius Clay's big mouth will be on the floor.
Well then, buddy, when my mouth is on the floor, you will not hear no more of me because I will be going across the sea.
That's a rhyme there too with it. Hello.
This is Donnie Potter.
Yes, Donnie.
Cassius Clay says that he predicts rounds in which the person will fall. Well, does he try before the round he predicts to knock the man out?
Well, I have had a few fights where I predicted 5 rounds and my opponent started to fall in 2, so I had to clinch him and hold him up until the 5th one to make my prediction right. Mr. Moore could have fell in 3, but I had to make it go 4.
But do you always do that to fighters?
Well, I don't always do it. Sometimes I barely can make it work, but I have become so...
Tell me this, when you're alone at night and think about the coming bout, which is this Thursday, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Don't you just a little bit nervous, perhaps not as sure of yourself as you might sound in public?
Well, there are possibilities that my prediction may not work out, but just in case of that, I have told the public and the world that if you don't fall in the round I call, I'm catching the next jet out of the country.
How long have you been fighting, Cassius?
I've been fighting 11 years. 180 amateur fights.
You mean when you were 10 years old?
Yes.
Where do you fight at 10 years old?
We have a local television program in Louisville, Kentucky called Tomorrow's Champions. And they gave it the right name.
And what about the future? You know, boxers don't last too long, really, or don't have too long.
Well, no, fighters such as Sugar Ray Robinson and Archie Moore, great fighters last long. ordinary fighters don't last too long. But I plan to be here 10 years, and then after I hold the championship for 10 years, I'm going to give it to my brother Rudolph, like the Kennedy boys do in Washington.
Well, good luck to you. I hope you have that kind of luck.
Thank you.
Cassius,
Yes.
I'm awful glad to talk to you. I'm glad that I heard the other day they've raised you up to number 4 now, haven't they?
Well, yes, I should have been number 4 a year ago.
I think so too.
Right.
And yeah, I was, of course, I was kind of sorry for old Arch. I like him.
Well, I was too. He was one of my idols.
If he'd been fighting anybody else but you, I'd have wished for. But after all, you're our hometown boy, and you represented us at the Olympics and did a pretty good job of it too.
Thank you.
And I'm surely glad. And you want to look out for that Liston boy now, Cassius, because he's bad news. But then I believe you can do it.
Well, they say Liston is great, but he must fall in 8.
Yeah, he's all right. He hits hard, doesn't he?
You just be at ringside. Don't worry about Mr. Liston. I'll take care of him.
Take care of him, huh?
Right.
All right, Cassius. I'm glad to talk to you.
You're welcome.
Jones in black, 188. Clay, 202.5, and there it is! "45 seconds. There's that beautiful left jab by Cassius Clay. Good 1-2 by Clay. 45 seconds left in the round. "20 seconds. Seconds to go. Fans are probably booing about the prediction. 10 seconds. No knockdown. Good right hand shot by Clay. Minute and a half. May be in trouble. Jones is a little rubbery-legged. He's taken a lot of good shots to the head. We have a minute and 40 seconds left in the fight. 1:40 to go. Beautiful finish.
Winner by unanimous decision, Cassius Clay.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 5-4-1 on the part of the two
judges at ringside, and 8-1-1 on the part of the referee, Joe Lascalzo.
I am going for Sonny-Liston. I want that big bear bad.
All right. What are your plans now?
Well, my plans are to go back to Louisville, Kentucky, take care of business, and go on back to Miami to take care of training to Liston.
You did a very good job. Nice going.
Thank you very much.
Very good. Cassius Clay, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
Cassius?
Yes?
This is Charlie Aycock. What do you think about the offer from to fight Cleveland Williams for $10,000 a year? I mean,
Well, as I said, that program, that answer came up a couple of times tonight. I would love to fight Cleveland Williams for that. And another thing, this will be the first fight that I will not predict a round. This fight would go the distance because the longer it goes, the more I will receive. But if they would give me the full sum, if I could knock out Mr. Cleveland Williams, that fight would be scheduled for 3 rounds. So if you're thinking of coming, get there early.
well, do you think he's a good boy?
Well, he's a pretty good boy to be ranked. He's ranked now. I'm ranked number 4. He's ranked number 5. He must be pretty good to be that close to me. But like I say, the fight will go 3 rounds if I can still get the full guarantee.
Well,
that's an awful bold prediction. 3 rounds.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you, champ.
The upcoming Liston-Patterson rematch. Do you have a prediction on that?
Well, I predicted Sonny Liston to win the fight in about 3 rounds. He'll stay the champion until he meet me.
How about a prediction on what round you'll defeat Sonny Liston?
I predicted 8 on Sonny Liston, but he kept popping off about I talk too much, I need a glove down my throat, and he's going to take a doctor to cut it out, and he made me mad, and I had to cut that prediction from 8 rounds to 6 rounds. Liston must fall in 6.
You have become the poet laureate, more or less, of the boxing world. Do you have a little poetry for Sonny Liston?
Yes, I have a little short one for Sonny Liston, but I reveal all of it when the fight comes up. It goes something like this. If you like to lose your money, then be a fool and bet on Sonny. But if you want to have a good day, then put it on me.
This is Lillian Rankin. Does it ever bother you when somebody talks about your big mouth?
Well, no, it don't bother me. I notice a lot of people I know, one person can say, well, look at her, she's got a hole in her dress, she did this or she did that, and I know a lot of people.
And here with me, with his bodyguard, is Mr. Cassius Marcellus Clay.
How you doing, Mr. Lewis?
How do you do? Mr. Clay, this is a wonderful name of yours. Was your mother or your father ever interested in the arts or literature?
Well, my father, he's an artist. He's best in Louisville, Kentucky.
Because your brother is named Rudolph Valentino.
That's right.
Your father liked William Shakespeare, I presume, did he?
Well, he read a little about him, but he really wasn't a Shakespeare fan.
Have you studied art yourself?
Well, I can draw a little, but I'm mostly concentrating on fighting. I'm busy knocking out all of these bums. I don't have time to draw.
You're a bit of an actor as well, aren't you, Mr. Clay?
Well, I'm not only an actor. A lot of people think I'm acting, but if they be at that Wembley Stadium June 18th, they'll see that I mean every word I say.
Is this self-confidence in yourself perhaps a publicity gimmick, as I understood and as I've met you now?
A lot of people think it's a publicity gimmick, but you can call it what you want. I have had 180 amateur fights, won them all except 2. I have had 19 professional fights, won them all, of course. Knocked out 15, and 13 of those 15 I predicted the exact round. You can call it a gimmick if you want it, but I'm throwing the blows.
And what are your impressions of this little country of ours?
Well, Great Britain is a nice place, but I'm from America and I'm not used to it. The cars are too small, the streets are too narrow. I like open spaces, and I haven't seen as many pretty girls like I do at home.
Are you terribly homesick there?
I can't wait to get out. And a lot of these people are booing me and making remarks at me on the street, and that's just going to make it hard on Henry Cooper.
Well, are you going to finish Henry Cooper so quickly as you said?
Cooper will fall in 5, and not only Henry Cooper, I have a middleweight back here by the name of James Ellis. Your man will fall, right?
Right.
And Don Warner, he's fighting Jim Cooper's brother, and he's going to fall. All of them are going to fall.
Right.
What happens if Cooper happens to fall in 4, Mr. Clay?
Cooper will not fall in 4. Cooper will fall in 5.
You won't hold him up to keep him going till the 5th round?
Well, I'm predicting the 5th round. I'm not predicting 4. If he falls in 1, he just fall in 1. If he falls in 2, too bad. But I'm predicting round 5.
What is your impression of British heavyweights as a whole?
Well, I haven't heard too much about British heavyweights. I notice he's the British Empire Heavyweight Champion, but he's not the champion in America. He's just a champion over here among the rest of these so-called fighters. But if he comes to America, he's going to get run out.
You're only 21 years of age now. You've said yourself you're rather a pretty boy, aren't you?
Prettiest fight in the ring today. 180 amateur fights, 15 pros, and I'm as pretty as you, and you don't fight.
Aren't you perhaps afraid that perhaps your pretty looks might get damaged?
Well, the day my pretty looks, the day it even look like they're going to be damaged, I'll retire.
Now, you say you're going to beat Mr. Cooper. But what then, Mr.
I want that big ugly bear, Patterson-Liston. I want him bad, and I can't wait. And he must fall in 8 to prove that I am great.
Okay, 6'2½", Cooper 6'1½". So he really is a fine figure of the man. All muscle. Hook, and he's going in and he's hurt Clay. Clay's hanging on and he's blinking and frowning. In the first 30 seconds, the left hook of Cooper scores quickly. And Clay's nose is bleeding in the first minute from the left hook of Cooper. First blood to Cooper. Started so many fights too quietly. Cooper has come out full of fight. And now Clay is arguing with the referee that Cooper's trying to hold him and he's getting angry. Clay's showing he's not holding inside. That left hand of Cooper's is right into Clay's face and he's scoring heavily with it and he's hurting the American. A sensational start to this fight. And Cooper right on top with half a minute to go in the first. Cooper's right hand, the first time he's shown it. That left jab of Clay's beginning to get very accurate and steady into Cooper's face. And Cooper is cut, or rather grazed, underneath his left eye, who's been promised to fight with the winner of Liston and Patterson if he comes through this tonight. The handsome Cassius Clay coming out for round 3 after the shock of his life. Cooper's left eye patched up now, and still he hooks with that left hand. And now he's cut over the left eye. Henry Cooper is cut over the left eye, and it looks to me like a very bad cut indeed. This is tragedy for Cooper in the third round, with only 40 seconds gone, and Cooper is very badly cut over the left eye. Clay now, look at him, he's got his arms down, he's contemptuously treating Cooper. His arms are down by his hips. Just using his feet to keep away from Cooper. Clay hardly bothering to punch in this round now. He's just threatening and he's teasing Cooper. He's trying to make Cooper. Right on the bell. The bell has sounded. And he's up at about 3, Clay. That was the end of the 4th round, and he hit him about 2 seconds before the end of the round with the left hook. Clay took one chance too many, and he still doesn't know where he is. He's still half out, Clay. They're working furiously on him in the corner. Angelo Dundee, his trainer, he really is giving him a talking to. 2 seconds from the end of the 4th round. And got up just after the bell, and he doesn't know where he is, looking at his corner. And out we come for round 5. And now round 5 is the round in which Clay said he would beat Cooper, but now this crowd at Wembley are beginning to bay for a Cooper win. Clay on the floor at the end of the 4th, and now fighting to preserve his professional right here against Henry Cooper. And now Cooper's left eye is really in a shocking state. It really is now. Cooper's left eye is pouring blood. Gum shoots flying out. Henry is dripping blood. And I think Tommy Little will have to stop this because Cooper's eye is really in an absolutely appalling state. It is the worst cut eye I've seen for a very, very long time indeed. I do not see how he can let this go much further. It's round 5. And now he's slipping in, and I think this is it. The towel has come in from Cooper's corner, and Tommy Little's looking at it, and he's had to stop the fight. There was no alternative. He had to stop the fight, Tommy Little. It's all over in round 5, and Clay is getting bombarded with programs from angry ringsiders. The man who was put down at the end of the 4th round, and Cooper, he's beaten on a cut eye, is far from this.
Now back to our calls. Hello.
My name is James Wright.
All right.
What
would you like to ask, Mr. Clay?
If you ever lose your temper in the ring, like Emmett Griffin,
What was your question? Do I ever lose my temper? If I ever, what would happen?
if you ever lose your temper in the ring, like Emmett Griffin, what would you feel among yourself?
Well, how can we say that Emmett Griffin lost his temper? Did you know what he was thinking? I mean, Emmett Griffin has always been an aggressive fighter, and that's his style, and he happened to tag Benny Kid Paret with a solid punch and shook him up. I don't know nothing about how angry was he, or I could have been angry in my last fight. You didn't know.
Okay, thank you, young man. Okay. Good night.
Patterson, trying to get underneath the champion, straight punches, runs into a right uppercut, which sets up the challenger. In their test of strength in close, Patterson is incapable of tying up Liston. Challenger's long right hand grazes the champion's chin, but Liston's countering left hook is on target and sets up the second knockdown. Two jarring right hands are followed by the knockout blow, the left uppercut. Patterson, bewildered, is not sure that the fight has been stopped, this time in 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Custody Amata, who discovered Patterson, comforts his defeated protege.
Yes, Mr. Endicott.
I had a call Cassius because he's my favorite fighter, actually.
Thank
you. Cassius, I'd like to ask you, after you do beat Sonny Liston, which of course you will.
Thank you.
I wondered who you think has a possible chance of coming close to beating you for the title.
Well, who would have a possible chance of me defending my title against? Ingemar Johansson is a real good fighter, and also Eddie Machen, Cleveland Williams, and this fellow by the name of Billy Daniels, and a lot of more boys such as I that are really unknown. But I'll just cross that bridge when I get to it. If tax wasn't so hard on us fighters, I would fight every month.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Endicott.
I'm Galen Hiss.
Yes, Mr. Hiss.
I want to ask Cassius how long you think he'll last with Cleveland Williams.
Cleveland Williams, his manager, in today's paper, he's a little angry about me being ranked over Cleveland Williams. Cleveland Williams, his manager, as I started to say, has offered me $10,000 for every round that I go with Cleveland Williams. So he really have more confidence than I do saying something like that. But this, if I did fight Cleveland Williams, that would be the first fight that I would make no prediction in. I would want that fight to go as long as it could. But as far as predicting rounds are concerned, if I could knock this fella out and still get the full guarantee, I say Cleveland Williams must fall in 3 rounds.
What do you think you'll win?
He will fall in 3.
He will fall in 3?
So automatically, I would have to be the winner.
All right, thank you.
And then if I fall, I'll leave the country.
Don't you have any doubt?
No doubt at all.
Well, good luck.
And don't you have no doubt in whatever you're doing.
Well, I always fight, and I usually win.
Thank you. Well, you all right.
And I follow you all over the...
What's the matter with you? Would you like to meet this washerwoman? This washerwoman, Georgina Chavallo.
Say, woman, you look like you might be George Chavallo's sister.
No, she's a little better looking. I'm the homely one in the family.
Have you ever used Brio cream?
You said you were going to fight me. Now, well, I just hope you brought your boxing gloves.
Say, are you demonstrating?
Yeah.
Who are you marching on, me or Liston? Say, woman, can you box?
Oh, I wish somebody thought
Boy, them heads,
boxing
man.
gloves. Young whippersnapper.
Say, woman, you're going to get whooped in here right now. I'm tired. Why you keep messing with me?
Oh, you welterweight, you.
What's wrong, chump? What's all that? What's all that supposed to be?
You're supposed to be a southern gentleman, a man of your word.
What's all that supposed to be?
Look what you're doing. You don't even live up to your word. You're a blemish on the fair state of Kentucky.
Get that mess away from me, before I whoop all of you.
Where, oh, where is Cassius Clay? And could this be why he's ran away?
You a poet and don't
Cassius
know
Clay
it?
first listened to listen, but his frightened speeches of this little old washerwoman. No wonder Cassius
That's all
Clay
y'all, George Chevelle. Those are washwomen.
This washerwoman's too rough for Cassius.
You dress just like you fight.
Cassius Clay says, I will not fight Chavallo. He fights like a washerwoman. He's just rough and I could get hurt. Besides, my 11 managers say we did not sign legal binding contract, but just a gentleman's agreement to fight him. So, of course, we cannot honor this pledge.
And we're fighting now, woman. Get back, chump. Get back, chump. Get back, chump. Get back, chump. Woman, you crazy? You'll get your fight.
The Southern welterweight champ.
You'll get your fight.
Cassius Clay.
Get your hands. Where you look, who wouldn't run?
But you're supposed to be there. When you say you're going to be there, you're never there. You say you're going to be May 24th.
Cut the film off so I can do something.
May 24th, Las Vegas, you run to England, 5,000 miles away. No, 7,000 miles away. Then you're going to fight me in Louisville, 1,000 miles away. You don't come.
Oh, chump, you'll get your fight. You're going to get whooped.
Oh, we only have.
Cut your camera off.
Just a few miles away where we can fight from an arena, and you won't even come. You won't even acknowledge my. Fudge.
Get out of here, woman. You don't want that.
Would you just please tell the people?
Please get out of here, woman. Let me have some peace. I'm talking to the press. I will fight that washwoman named George Chevelle, though. Anytime you want me, let me know.
That's fine. You set the date right now. You tell the nice people here when we're going to fight.
I can't tell the people when we're going to fight.
Out of the fight.
Chump, I can't tell them people going to fight till I see the 11 billionaires.
11 who?
Billionaires.
Well, you can tell them. You can tell me an approximate date within a week or so.
I'm tired.
Just tell me an approximate. How about January?
Anytime you want.
Will you say January? I say it's January.
How much money you gonna give me?
We can find a lot of people give you a lot of money.
How much you gonna give me, Chump?
Listen, you're
messing with the greatest fighter in the world.
Just give me a date. January?
I'm gonna give you a date for as bad as you
January?
Look.
Hello.
Cassius.
Yes.
This is Charles Vincent. I'm one of your fans. I'd like to, you know, I'm for you 100%.
Good.
I'd like to see anyone with confidence. I've enjoyed seeing you develop on Champions tomorrow, and
Thank you.
we'll continue pulling for you. But there's some things here that I'm concerned about, and I'd like to discuss with you.
Yes.
Noticed tonight you said that you're tense because of your predictions, and that brings to mind the fact that maybe you're not getting all out of yourself that you could if you were a little more relaxed.
Well, there's a lot. You noticed every time I fight, I'm getting better and better, bigger and heavier. I'm not slowing down a bit. Hello.
Hello.
Cassius, this is Laney King.
How you doing?
Okay.
Another lady.
I'm calling to congratulate you on your appearance on the program tonight. I've listened to it plenty of times, and I've called in once before on another particular question.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like for you to know that I think that this is the most exciting program I have heard. I've heard Wilson Wyatt, and I also heard Governor Combs and lots of other exciting people.
This is the most
This is the most exciting thing that has happened to radio for quite a number of years.
It is. This is the fans can get a chance to talk with the people.
That's right.
And this is not only the most excitingest, but this is the most tiresomest. This is the longest I've ever been on anything.
Yeah, well, it's grand, and I know that your fans are loving you for doing this. I work with the PTA at the school where my children go.
Yes, ma'am.
Of course, I'm around children a lot because I have an 11-year-old son.
Yes, ma'am.
And I hear all the children talk about you, and I think
Ain't that sweet?
you are one of the only boxers that I think I've ever heard of that have so many children following them.
Yes, I know this. That's real nice.
I think that the courage that you have, the way that you have so much confidence, that you'd be surprised how much that means to the children.
That's right.
And a lot of people take it the wrong way, but I think it's wonderful in you.
Thank you.
I think we need more people like you.
Thank you,
I
ma'am.
want to congratulate you and Milton Metz. You tell him I said so.
He hears you. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you very much.
It seems to me like you have more trouble against lighter fighters than you do the heavier men.
Well, probably so. Lighter fighters are faster.
I thought Alonzo Johnson gave you plenty of trouble.
Well, that was my first professional main bout, and that was TV bout, and it was 95 degrees here that night, and Alonzo Johnson was a barber.
Yeah.
And when I fought Billy Daniels, it was 105 degrees. That was a TV fight, and he also was a barber.
Yeah,
It looks like whenever I fight barbers on hot nights, I don't do too good.
Yeah. It seems to me like fighters like Machin and Cooper and Daniels and Patterson give you more trouble than the rest of them. Do you think so?
Well, Daniels did pretty good that night because I wasn't feeling too well and it was hot. I was weak, but another fight with him that would go about 2 rounds.
Well, most of the fighters I named are pretty fast. They're lighter men.
Well, they are as fast as I want them to be.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, Cassius.
Yeah, what's happening?
This is Charles Asbell.
Yeah.
Do you lift weights to help you box?
Do I lift weights? No, you don't lift weights. Weightlifters are real tight and muscly, and fighters have to have long, reflexible reaches. So I do not lift weights.
Yes, sir. Are you gonna make any movies, to show people how you train and stuff?
Well, when I'm financially able, I would love to go into movies. I love to act, and I have been in a few movies, but I would love to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Chuck. Yes, Met's here with Cassius Clay.
Hello, Cassius.
Yeah, this is Cassius. What's happening?
Don Nichols from New Albany, Indiana.
Yeah.
And I would like to know how you got your part in Requiem of the Heavyweight.
Well, as you know, I'm an awful colorful figure, and I'm a good actor, and I'm awful colorful, and I don't know, when I fought Alec Midtef, the New York people were looking for a spot in that, and they said that just about that week, Midtef and I were fighting, and they said the winner of that would fight, and I knocked Midtef out in the 6th round, but if I had known sooner that they were judging to see who would be in the movie, it would have went 3 rounds.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I often wonder, since you're such a clean-cut boy, do you ever prepare before you're going to the ring, or do you attend church?
Do ever, I attend church a lot. Whatever part of the country I go to, I attend church. But I do pray before every fight. I pray awful hard before every fight.
You're such a clean-cut boy. It hasn't been brought up tonight. I'm just wondering if this will swell people to know, since you talk so much and all like that, you accuse you.
Well, yes, there's always one greater than us, and the Supreme Being, he's greater than all of us. So I always say prayers, and I believe that's one reason that I'm so successful, because when you hear 10 or 15,000 people booing against you, and you end that just on pure faith.
Well, thank you, Cassius, and I think you're a clean-cut boy.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Sue Bernstein, I'd like to ask Cassius a question, please.
All right, Sue. Cassius.
Cassius, you have great responsibility to young people because of your prominent position. How do you feel this influences you?
Well, this is real nice to know it. Really, it makes me feel good to know that so many young children are calling life an example and that are keeping up with me, and it makes me do extra good in the deeds that I do, and to put on a good example for the young people.
I didn't realize you were so tall. I'm looking for a good sparring partner.
Oh, yeah?
I can't, I've been all over the country. I can't pay a chump to get in the ring with me.
Well...
Sonny Liston is somewhere training, and I'm out trying to find help and can't do it. I'm so bad. 15 times I have told the clowns the exact round they were going down. I just left London, England. I fought a bum named Henry Cooper, the heavyweight champion of the British Empire. I said, Henry, this is no jive. The fight will end in 5.
Okay, now we're going to turn the floor open here for questions, Cassius.
I didn't know you asked questions.
Yeah, is that okay? Thinking it was all right for them to put questions to you? I know you can handle them. Young man there with the red sweater.
How about reciting one of your poems, Cassius?
If you like to lose your money, be a fool and bet on Sonny.
I'd like to know if you agree with the fact that a professional wrestler could beat a professional boxer in a fight.
In a free-for-all, you mean?
In a free-for-all fight.
Well, if the fighter gets the first lick, he'll win. Well, it's according who the fighter is, you know. Everybody lose except me, but I don't believe that no wrestler could beat me. Not even I challenged Gorgeous George once to match, and he ran out.
Yes.
Who do you think the world's best fighter was, besides yourself?
Well, I don't know. The world's greatest to me. I mean, my idol was Sugar Ray Robinson. I would pick him if you asked me the world's greatest fighter.
Pound for pound, I'd go along with that. Someone right here.
Has a definite time and place been set for the fight where it won't be canceled?
I just saw, I don't know as much as you do. I just saw something in today's paper. February the 26th in Miami. It was in Las Vegas, but they changed it to Miami. That's one reason I have to get this tramp out of the way. Sonny Liston, he can't fight in California. They won't allow him in New York City. He went on the Ed Sullivan show once, and he had to get out of town before midnight.
Okay.
Some rule or something. It was on a Sunday.
Sometimes Ed has to do that too.
Only on Sundays he can go into New York.
All right. Young lady there.
Do you write your own poetry, and do you think in rhyme?
Yes, I do. I write my own poetry, and I think in rhyme. And as a matter of fact, while I'm talking to you, I'm writing the greatest short poem of all time. This poem tells how it feels to be as great as me. This is it, the greatest short poem of all time. Me, wee.
Big man there.
Is a fighter born or created?
Well, I would say a great fighter would have to be born. I mean, me myself, I've never received top-notch training. I've never been to training camp. And I can't find nothing around to last over 8 rounds with me. So, I mean, I was really born to box, a fighter. Mm-hmm.
I think that's true of the leading people in any field. All right, there's a lady right there. Question.
How can you always be so sure you're going to win when you say you do, in the round that you say you do?
Well, then if I told you how I knew, then you would be the greatest too. As far as fighting is concerned, but it's mostly scientific. I study my opponents and weigh them, check the past history, and check this height. For an example, I fought a fellow named Charlie Powell in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, a year ago. A few of you may have read about it. I predicted round 6, but after I met him in person, I realized that I could cut it in half and do it in 3. So the day of the fight, I cut the prediction from 6 to 3. And that night, before a sellout crowd of 22,000, he fell in 3.
Right you are. Young lady there with the white coat.
You look so young. I was wondering how long you've been fighting.
Well, I've been fighting 12 years.
Gee.
I've had 190 some, let me see, I had about 260 amateur fights. Two-time national. I'll show you how great I am. Two-time national Golden Glove champion, two-time national AAU champion, international Diamond Belt champion, Pan American Game champion, and 1960 World Olympic gold medal winner in Rome.
It's a heck of a yes.
Cassius, when you beat Sonny, are you going to give him a rematch?
Well, if Sonny-Liston, after I beat Sonny-Liston, you couldn't melt him and pour him on me again.
That's poetry, too. Yes.
When was it that you first realized this great power of expression you have?
Well, let me see. Let me see. My mother said I was about 3 years old when I started talking. No, I predicted that I would win the Olympic gold medal, and from then on, I've been predicted. Yes.
How many hours a day do you train before a fight, on average?
1 hour in the mornings and about 3 hours a day.
Young man there in uniform. You stand up, young fella?
How long do you think it would take to knock Steve out?
Now, just a moment.
You mean...
Yes, ma'am.
After seeing what happened to Patterson, do you plan to retire after Liston beats you?
Oh, no. Patterson's body is suing his legs for non-support. I don't want to say too much, don't tell it. Patterson is a good buddy, man. I never talk about it.
Cassius, do you think you're boastful?
No, I'm very modest. Wasn't that a funny question?
These are pretty wild people here. I got to warn you about that. Yes, young man.
Do you think Uncle Sam has something against you?
No, why do you say that?
Well, he called you up to get your physical.
Well, everybody go to that, to the
right
physical.
At this time, though.
Oh, well, I don't know. The law is the law. I mean, you can't, they don't care. They took Elvis Presley, didn't they?
That young man.
Cassius, do you try to scare your opponent to death?
I mean, if they get scared, it's not my fault. I mean, they do. For an example, Sonny-Liston, he's scared to death. I went to his house about 2 o'clock one morning a couple of weeks ago and drove my bus up in his yard, knocked on his door, pulled him out of bed, and almost beat him in his front yard. And the policeman had to come with dogs to break it up. And that's enough to scare anybody.
Is this a true story?
It was true. It's in all the papers and everything. I went to his house, woke him up. I'm tired of talking about it. I'm ready to go.
Ready to go.
Yeah, I'm tired. I'll be getting this thing to get off.
Yeah. All right. Question there.
When is your next fight gonna be?
She was out of the room a little while ago.
Well, I really don't know. Sonny-Liston, I hope, but I might have one tonight.
Don't anybody get smart. Yes.
I'd like to ask you, who's your greatest admirer besides yourself?
Besides myself, who would be my greatest? I can't, nobody.
Well, you have quite a few of them, I know that. Time for just 1 or 2 more questions at the moment, yes.
How do you answer the critics of boxing who say it should be abolished?
I don't know. The few tragedies that we have had, they say that it should be abolished. But I worry more about airplanes than I do boxing. I mean, I never worry about the fight. I worry about the flight. Now, seriously, this is going to be the biggest upset in the century of all boxing. He's an old man. He's 40 years old. That man don't belong in no ring with no 21-year-old man like me.
Is Sonny 40?
He's going on 40. He's shaving. He's shaving.
Hello?
This is Larry Copper.
Yes.
Cassius, I want to ask you, what do you think about Williams style in boxing?
Well, it's a strange thing. I have never seen Cleveland Williams box, but I have never seen him box, but yet I am calling around number 3.
He must not be very good then.
Well, that don't say. I mean, you can't say he's not good, but that's why I say I'm the greatest. I call all of my rounds.
When you come to Louisville, would you come to the DCS High School? All the boys are talking about you out there.
Well, I'll be glad to come. What's the name of that high school?
DCS.
Well, when I get time, I'll be there. It might be sometimes next week when I'm not doing nothing.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Cassius, man, I thought I was crazy, but you got me beat.
No, you're not.
Really something, Jerry.
You're not crazy at all. I don't think you're crazy. I think that you have a lust for showmanship.
No, I was joking. I'm really great.
You're what?
I'm really great. Jerry, I'm the greatest fighter that ever stepped foot in the ring. I'm so great, I tell a clown what round he's going down. 15 times I have predicted the exact round. I shook up the world. Just left London, England. Told the heavyweight champion of the British Empire. I said, Tramp, this is no jive. The fight will end in 5. And it did. 55,000 people lost their money.
Well, I'm aware of your record, and I know that, as you say, I wouldn't question. If you say you're the greatest, I wouldn't stand here and say you ain't.
You smart. You really smart.
Now, if I had to back up what you had, I'd say I'm also the greatest, you see, and that everyone else is nuts, and that I was going to have a show even if it wasn't on. I very honestly, I must tell you that I didn't bet on you. I had a bet on Mr. Moore. And I'm sure you're aware.
You lost your money, huh?
Yeah, I certainly did.
Now, if you like to lose your money, be a fool and bet on Sonny. You know what I'm talking about? The big ugly bear, Patterson-Liston.
The big ugly bear.
I'm getting ready to participate.
He said. Wait, let's just...
Now, you talk too much.
Sonny, Cassius said, big ugly bear. I was merely repeating what Cassius said. You see, because I have a faint suspicion that if Sonny was ever mad at me, it would be very much like that day at Normandy. I don't want to be standing in front of him. I met him in Las Vegas when we did our show from Las Vegas.
Ain't he something?
Oh.
You know, I just saw this little monkey act here. Those things have more sense than him. All you do is talk for a living.
Well, up to now, I was making a living at it. You do have all of... Were you at the Olympics, Cassius?
Yeah.
What year?
1960.
You want me to
my match when I met you.
You want me to tell you what I think? Now, we're on live television. There's no editing this. You want me to tell you what I think?
Well, be cool. You know, fool. You went to school.
I got... Let me just say this to you. I'm going to say what I think. And if what I think you don't like, make your move.
Because I feel froggy, I'll jump.
Because I learned a long time ago when I was in school, there's no size that you got to be concerned with as long as you got something behind it, such as enthusiasm and belief. Now, what I'm going to say, just hear this, because if you don't hear it good and you get upset with me, I just haven't prepared for... Well, I'd like to get my things in order. Let's say that. Let me tell you what I think. This is what I want to say. I think, and this, of course, is one man's opinion, and I hope I don't embarrass you. And I don't mean to embarrass you, and I certainly don't mean in any way to impose upon your presence here, because I did want you on the show. I think you're a big bag of wind. Now, just hear me out. Wait a minute. Hold it a second. I think that one...
Bodyguards.
Hold it. Let me tell you... Wait, will you sit quiet for 1 minute, Charlie? I think that you're the damnedest showman that ever lived, and you ain't kidding anybody. Will you let me finish and shut your mouth for 1 minute? And this is just what I believe. I think...
He wasn't so small, he wouldn't be talking so bold.
Will you let me finish? Do you know you have a 33 1/3 long playing mouth?
Not a 33 1/3.
78.
300.
All right. See how tough it is to add? Now, will you let me finish? I'm making a point. The point is that whatever your concept is...
You hit me. Don't let you get away with it.
Now, go on. Go on.
Boy, you something else, right?
Hit back. Go ahead, hit back. I hit you there, hit back. Go ahead. Go on.
Please, Jerry, you and our buddies, please, let's don't get started. Please.
Now, folks, I hit him, didn't I?
What did Liston pay you to do that?
The best thing, I had this here for you. Just light it, sweetheart. The best thing to do after a compliment is to say thank you.
You're welcome.
Or I'll take it back.
Talking, you got me beat. Somebody told me. And whenever a man can have a 2-hour program and unrehearsed for 2 hours, he can beat me talking.
I've been listening to both of you over there, you know. You came out with a big line that he's a bag of wind, and you've been trying to top him right along that for no reason at all. I want to ask you one question. You and I were both together on a show one night with Johnny Carson, right?
Yeah, I thought I recognized you.
Yeah, you recognized me.
Thought I recognized you.
Yeah. Where do you hear the rest of it? And that was right before you fought Doug Jones, right? And I said you're going to have a big trouble with him. And you said, I predicted, and I'll take him.
I did it.
But you didn't take him?
People say I missed my prediction because the fight went 10 rounds.
Right.
First I said Jones in 6.
Right.
Then I said Jones in 4. 6 and 4 is what?
Just let me tell you something then. That night I saw the fight, and so did a lot of other people there. And a lot of people came away with the opinion you did not win that fight.
What did the judges?
And I'm one of them.
Well, Phil.
Well, I've got to tell
do something about it.
I'm trying to get a rematch before Liston gets you.
A rematch with Jones?
You would apologize if you dreamed it.
Wait, may I intercede? Listen,
You got to fight Jones again.
Oh, man, you ain't in no shape. What you talking about?
Let him read it.
Let me read my poems. I'm before I get angry. Let me read.
Feel the arm, but don't bend it.
Phil, you're going to antagonize him and...
Watch it. Easy now. Easy.
Look, ain't that awful? Look at the size.
All right, I think a little of my vanity's coming out. Go ahead, baby.
Cool it.
Pretty tough, Jerry. You really...
Yeah, John.
I heard you.